Morning, we're at a place called Simbel. It's one of the last temples that we're going to see, or one of the last places we're going to see here in Egypt. So we'll take a look around. We're walking our way down to the temples of Simbel. Simbel Temples are for Ramesses II and his wife Nefertari and their children. It's supposed to be, allegedly, one of the best temples in Egypt. All the Egyptians seem to rave about it. Everybody's always mentioning it. So let's hope that the expectations are met. People have also told us that the Temple of Mott was something to behold, and actually we thought it was the worst temple we'd been to. Here we're looking out over Lake Nasser on what would be actually stood on top of what would be the actual original position of the temple. The temple's been moved because otherwise it would have been lost forever because of the high dam that we saw yesterday and the flooding of this area. So the temple has been moved, all rocks exactly and precisely, onto a man-made mountain. So let's go and take a look. This is the man-made mountain, and in front are the statues. In front of the statues that are built onto the side of the mountain. So, Ramesses II, Nefertari. I think two of them are Ramesses. I think there's a lower one of his children. On top of the monument are baboons, trying to zoom in to show you. Those there, every morning at sunrise, they light up as if to be bowing or praying to the sun. Fantastic, very, very tall. To move this cost over $42 million US.
Perfect timing.
The statues of the gods, several of Horus, as you know, is Christine's favourite, but this is some Ramesses on the right, Nefertari on the left, and next to them, their children. Actually, I have to stand corrected. The four large statues are of Ramesses II. The smaller ones are Nefertari, his children, and his mother. Twice a year, the sun's rays enter the temple, illuminating the faces of Amun-Ra, Ramesses II, Ra-Hokati and Ptah. They're seated at the back wall of the inner sanctuary, so actually the sun has to be in the exact right direction to light those up. We'll see if we can find those when we go inside. So, Ramesses are the tallest ones. The two just on the inside are Nefertari. Then would have been probably, I don't know, his mother and his children, and that would be on the opposite side too. I think that is the god Amun-Ra above the door. Christine informs me it could actually be Horus, seeing as he shows up quite a lot, but we're not sure. So let's take a look inside the temple. That's okay, thank you. The place is huge. There must be slaves.
Yes. No,
It's okay. Thank you. Okay, there are 8 statues inside what is the Great Hall of Ramesses. This wall shows Ramesses II in battle or leading battle against the Hittites at the Battle of Kadesh. I think it was a great battle that he wanted to show that he won quite decisively. To speak to a god, and if you weren't a god, you had to speak through what was in effect a flower, which makes that very strange, because Horus is speaking to Ramesses. I think the slaves that it showed at the door and also here, I think maybe they were the Hittites. Here he is crushing one of the Hittites. Wow. About to either beat or stab or with a spear. Another. All of the columns are magnificently decorated. Along with the ceiling. There's Ramesses with a god. This looks like Ramesses on the left and Horus on the right, both with weapons, and then beneath them the Hittites, who look like they're asking for mercy. Off the main hallway are these rooms. That looks like praying to Horus. Horus appears to have been very, very important to Ramesses. He's depicted everywhere with him. Now there's several rooms that lead off that main hallway. Praying to Horus, making offerings to Horus. There's one of the baboons there. I think that must be a high priest, probably. Apart from the outside, where Nefertari and his children are, there's barely a reference to her, or his children, or his mother. It just about seems to be about him, and him alone. Although he did see himself as a god, all pharaohs did. And, into another room. Wow. I apologise if the video seems to be fading in a bit and out a bit. I think it's to do with the light. Let's take a look in this one. More offerings. Appears to be different gods in this chamber. These are all rooms with depictions of offerings to either him or to the gods. And this is the last room off the hall. This one seems to be very different, as whether they were to stand deities on, I've no idea. This is all about inscriptions and writing. And then the wall of offerings again. From the hall of the 8 statues leads us into this hall. I think these are carrying a boat to carry people to, or the pharaoh, to the afterlife. Okay, thank you. Same on the opposite side. This appears to be more about what would be his passing rather than his achievements. Twice a year, when the light shines through from that doorway, it lights up these 4 statues at the back of the temple. So a sunrise 2 days a year. From there. Okay, these are the faces of Amun-Ra, Ramesses II, Ra-Hokhati and Ptah. This temple was built in This temple was built in honour of Ramesses' wife, Nefertari. There are 2, 4, 6 statues on the outside. 4 are Ramesses and 2 are Nefertari. At the bottom of the statues are the daughters and sons of Nefertari and Ramesses. Let's take a look inside. And a much smaller doorway. And as was said before, noses are removed. Shows Ramesses he'd be sacrificing a human or one of the Hittites. I think this is Nefertari, Horus and Hathor. There's Nefertari. Right at the very back of the temple. That must have been Nefertari. Not much left of it now. In a similar position to the gods for the other opening. Well, there are the 2 temples. The one for Ramesses II, the one for Nefertari, and they're overlooking what's called Lake Nasser now.